Does anyone else find the TikTok trend of holding the microphone like this here really annoying? Because like there's this thing on the back called a clip, and bear with me here, but what you do with that is you clip it on like that. So Rode has been in the wireless microphone game for a while now. And here on this channel and our sister channels, I think we've reviewed pretty much every single one when it's released. From the Wireless Go, to the Go 2, to the Pro, to the Me. So when Rode sent over their latest iteration to us, the Wireless Micro, I kind of assumed that maybe it would just be a smaller version of one of the ones that already existed. But it's not that at all, in fact. It's actually something brand new. This time, Rode has set its sights on video creators that primarily use their phone. Now, that's not to say that you couldn't use their older mics with a phone, because you absolutely could. In fact, the wireless Me's were advertised as just that, the perfect mic for a bit of solo recording with a phone or a camera. So what actually makes the Micro stand out? Well, to put it simply, simplicity. Inside the box, you'll find some AirPods. That's a case and a USB-C to USB-C cable, 2 tiny windshields and 2 magnetic attachments, and that's it. That's all you're getting in the box. No wires for the camera, no mega instruction manual. Basically, just what you need to get started in a matter of seconds. Now, like the Rode Wireless Me's, you also don't get an external lav mic attachment, something you do get with the Pro and the Go series. So if you're looking for that, unfortunately, you can't actually attach a separate lav mic to the Micro. You can to the Me's, you just have to buy it separately. But luckily, the simplicity doesn't end there. To get it set up, all you need to do is plug the receiver into a phone and then wait for it to connect to the 2 transmitters. Rode sent over to us the USB-C version of the microphone, but you can also get a Lightning version, I believe, which works with iPhone 14s and below. But make sure that you have iOS 14 and above, otherwise it won't work. So I'll chuck some stats on the screen now if you're interested in all that, but it's nothing too groundbreaking. They're omnidirectional mics with a frequency of 20 Hz to 20 kHz and a maximum decibel of 135. Now, Rode claims that gain assist, which is something they've put on the Pros and a few other mics in the past, is actually on board here. So that is a huge win for the Micros over something like the Go or the Go 2. And this is something that we would genuinely say is useful and something to look for. If you're in a loud situation, or maybe you're just having to speak really quietly, gain assist can be a lifesaver in post-production when you're trying to bring the sound up a bit. The battery life on board the receivers isn't too bad either. It's about 7 hours, which should last you as much as you possibly need in one recording. And the case itself gives you another 14 hours of charge. Obviously, all you need to do is put them back in. And then obviously you can charge that up using the USB-C port on the back. They're going on sale in December for about $149, which I have mixed feelings about, but I'll go more into detail about that in a second. But first, let's head outside and put them through their paces. So I am now on the streets of Manchester testing out the Rode Micro, and so far, hello, working pretty well. Where I'm stood currently, you can probably see I am surrounded by noisy trucks, literally surrounded by them. So this should be a pretty good test for it. Now, I've done a bit of testing before this and it does cut out the noise pretty well, but I haven't tried with anything quite this drastic yet. So it'll be interesting to see how this sounds. So I'm using the Rode Capture app to record this footage, but there's a few different apps you can use with this microphone, such as the Rode Reporter app, I believe, and Rode Central, which is kind of like Rode's main app for tracking your microphone, changing the gain, all that sort of stuff. So you've got a few options, but the Rode Capture app is actually pretty good. This is one of the first times I've used it. It's quite, you can see where I'm going, you can see me, it's cool. So I'm now on Market Street in Manchester, which if you've ever been to Manchester, you'll know that it's a pretty busy place. When the markets are on, the Christmas markets, it's even busier. Interesting to hear how it holds up in this sort of scenario. But yeah, I'm going to leave. So I don't like it here. One thing I would be slightly worried about is potentially losing the case. Now, if you have ever used AirPods, you'll know that they come with a variety of different tracking abilities. So if you lose your case, you can use like an actual tracker to find out where they are on a map. Or if you just lost them like in your house, there's usually like a little beeper you can activate to find them. These have no such feature. That would probably bump up the price quite a bit, so I kind of understand that. But kind of worries me walking around that I could lose the case this could drop off and I wouldn't know. Okay, I've come inside now as it's absolutely freezing outside, and I thought maybe a cafe would be a good test for more of a quiet setting, but it is actually quite loud in here. So again, I'm being a bit, keeping my voice down a bit as it's concerned about people. But I'll be interested to see how it picks it up, if it's any good in this sort of setting. And while I'm here, I'll also do this exact same thing again, but with the iPhone microphone, so you can really sort of see the difference between having a microphone like this and using just your phone. Okay, now I'm recording with just the microphone on the iPhone itself. How does it sound? I imagine it's going to be far worse. Hopefully you can hear me. I don't know. Ooh, look at that lens flare. Wow. Okay, let's head back to the office and do a few more tests there. So that pretty much wraps up all the testing I'm going to be doing for the mic. And overall, after listening back to all of it, I don't think it's too bad. I think it's pretty good. In some areas, it holds up quite well. I think really noisy backgrounds are like muted quite well. Not entirely though. It's not up there with the likes of the pros in that regard. There is still quite a lot of background noise. And my voice was quite quiet at times, but then I did have it quite far away from my mouth. But yeah, overall, in a loud, noisy city environment, it didn't hold up too badly. Okay, so I'm back, and let's return to that price point for a second. So my immediate reaction to seeing the price was that it was a little bit high, especially when you look at the likes of Godox, who are making similar products with very similar specs for a lot cheaper. But that said, one thing that Rode will always have over other brands like Godox is consistency. Rode is kind of like the Apple of the audio production world in that they don't bring out anything that fancy, it's not going to change the world, but it will work, and it will work every single time. But in this instance, can that give the price a pass? Well, there is another twist here. Remember earlier when I mentioned the other mic offerings, and specifically the Mi's? Well, like I said, all of those can be used with a phone as well, and all of those are potentially going to be on sale for a lot cheaper than these ones. In fact, I just took a quick look and the Rode Mi's are currently on sale on Amazon UK for the same price as the Micros will be when they launch. They're about £3 more actually, to be precise. So obviously you're gonna have to weigh it up there if you would prefer to go for the Micros and only be able to record using a phone, or go for the Mi's, which has the potential to also be used with a DSLR. Plus, they are technically ever so slightly better mics as well in terms of audio quality, and you get a third microphone which is in the receiver too. And for all you TikTok interviewers out there, it's also compatible with Rode's handle. But I won't worry too much about that because you could literally just attach these to a stick if you were that desperate. So why would you actually go for the Micro with all this considered? Well, I do think there is actually a couple of reasons to choose them over the Mi's. The first reason is simplicity, like I said. If you're only ever going to use a mic with a phone, then the Micro is the far easier choice. Not just because of the simple way the receiver attaches to your phone without any need for wires or dangling receivers, but also because of the case design. And this is another way I think that Rode is very similar to Apple in that, well, I think they have just sort of copied Apple here. Or if not Apple, some sort of AirPod wannabe like the Samsung Galaxy Buds or whatever. You literally just pop them out of the case and in seconds everything is paired and you're listening to your music. Sorry, recording a video. Only occasionally do you need to remember to charge the case as well. It's so easy to just carry them around with how small and light they are. This could go in your back pocket very easily. And the second reason is a bit less important, but the look of them. I've not actually mentioned the look of them at all yet, but the wireless Micros are far more appealing on the eye than the other Rode wireless microphones. Not that they're bad or anything, but it kind of just looks like you've got a brick stapled to your chest for some reason. And with the two color options of white or black, you can also blend it into clothing very nicely depending on what the person might be wearing. And you've got those magnets and clips as well, so you can very easily hide it away if you need to. So to wrap up, I'd say if you need an extremely quick and easy way to shoot decent sound, go for the Micros. You will not be disappointed. But if you like room to grow and potentially use a DSLR in future, then maybe go for the Mi's. You miss out on this awesome charging case, but you do get slightly better sound and the option to connect it to the camera if you'd like to. But if you want much better sound, then maybe check out the Rode Wireless Pros. You'll have to pay a fair bit more, but you will get a charging case like with the Micro, plus loads of awesome cool features like 32-bit float recording and also the included lav mic attachments. Those things are absolute beasts, but like the name suggests, they are more for pros. If you'd like to see a full review and comparison of the pros, the micro, the Miis, then do let us know in the comments below and we will get a video to you as soon as possible. But as always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, all those bits and bobs. It really does help the channel. And yeah, we will see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, goodbye.